Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host Brian,
What's going on, everybody?
and joined by friend of the show, Kyle Petty.
Good evening.
Yeah, as you can see here, we are back to talk UK traders. Yes, I did buy myself a cape on Amazon, and no, I don't regret it. This is UK Traders Series 2, Episode 6, guys.
Mhm.
Uh, I like this episode. I thought there's a lot to talk about here. Definitely the most notes I've had so far.
Mm.
Uh, all starting off with who was going to be murdered from the deliberation last night. We had three candidates, but we were curious what they were going to choose. I think we were right. Tracy, the clairvoyant, she claims that she was eliminated because they were afraid of her powers. We think that she was just a little kooky and she wouldn't be tied to anyone, path of least resistance. And that's what we got. So, off the bat, guys, were you surprised at all about the decision?
A little bit because I really thought it was between her and Charlotte. So
No, I really wanted Tracy to go. I mean, she didn't really bother me, other than the fact that again, like her being a clairvoyant, I feel like that makes your opinion weigh just a little bit more than other people's, and like that's no good. That's not good for anybody's game.
She could have been such a better character too. She could have played it up in a little fun, but she was very serious about it. She's like, no, no, my sensing of auras and everything like that was really going to come into play later on, and so they knew they had to get rid of me. It's like you should have been a little goofy and like
mm.
doing tarot cards for
Yeah,
people and
lean
just
into it.
yeah, have fun with it. Exactly. That's what happened to Aubrey. And Aubrey got axed because he played his character right off the bat, and they were like, "No, sorry, see it. Bye. Can't deal with a guy who's being a hardo." Just a missed opportunity. I thought she was going to be fun, more fun than she was. But farewell, Tracy.
She
Um,
wasn't fun, and she really didn't actually know what was going on. Even on her way out, she's like, "I still don't know who the traders are." And it's like, so then, are you a clairvoyant?
yeah.
Like,
When do you turn the powers on? When does that come
right?
into play? Like
How long does that take?
from when
She
she
knew
gets
the
the
minute we knew.
she's
Yeah,
gonna get it when she gets the Uber driver. Maybe her iPlayer worked better than mine.
Yeah.
Like I give her that.
oh,
Just
Tracy.
status as we do every episode. My iPlayer to this week. I mean, this episode about a 2 out of 10 as far as accessibility for myself. And it like at one point said I didn't have enough bandwidth. I was like, bandwidth? This is like 2003. Like,
I
what are you
think
talking
I
about?
think that happened to me with the first batch of episodes.
Bandwidth.
Really?
Yeah, and I was under Docklands today, so I got in. I snuck in through the dock, so I don't know what happened with you.
I know maybe you were the last person. There were too many of
Yeah,
us entering at the
I
same
snuck in
time.
late because I watched it so late. They're like, no one is still in Docklands watching
Oh
this.
no, I was on blocked early. I took the frontline bullets for you. You were able to sneak in afterwards.
Just
Uh,
Docklands
Overall, it
is funny.
hasn't been that bad. My iPlayer's been okay, except for today was kind of a
I
fiasco.
thought mine was great, dude. I was so far away from my. I was like watching my kids in the bath, and I had it on, and it was so far away from
Mm.
my router. So
Well, I was part of
go
the
iPlayer.
I was part of the movement yesterday where we couldn't play the. I know Kyle. I think you had the similar thing, right? We had to use the
Yeah,
live kind of hijinks to go back to be able to watch it. So, how's
I
your
did that today
iPlayer
too.
been?
Honestly,
How's your iPlayer been?
I did the live hack thing this time too. My iPlayer is actually fantastic. I think it's superior to most of these that we use. Like ITV is
Oh,
atrocious.
ITV
Like
is worse. It
the
Still
stinks.
better than
absolute worst.
Paramount Plus.
Oh, that's also true.
And
Also true.
and anytime it's any streamer has a one time speed or higher, that is a plus.
They they have bandwidth. We
Yeah.
might not have
Yeah.
bandwidth, but they have the bandwidth.
But what
Uh,
is the deal with live TV in the UK though? There's no commercials on this because even when you do the live TV replay, like there's no commercials or anything in between. Like
ITV has commercials.
they most certainly do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I guess BBC is above it all. I mean,
yeah.
I'm
British
not
We
sure.
don't
Broadcasting
need
is not.
commercials. We
Differently.
got plenty of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I've never gotten any like British ads. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
nothing.
Damn. Now I'm actually upset. I'm not getting the
Just wait
full.
till Love Island. You got
Right.
50 episodes to see
Yeah, I
tons of
know. I know.
commercials.
And that's on
Um,
ITV, right? Yeah, buckle
Yeah.
up.
the brunch, the morning after brunch that we've kind of hated on. The main kind of takeaways we see there. Diane actually may think that Ross, her son, may be a traitor because she's like, I probably should have been sent home by now. Why hasn't they sent me home? Is my son a traitor? Not like she was upset about it, but she's genuinely confused. And I said I thought Diane was the play yesterday. So
Mhm.
um I think she's keenly aware of her positioning right now, that people think that she may be. I think she's a player. She's very outspoken though as well. I think it's gonna be tough for her to make it much further as well. We'll talk about people like Paul, but like I do think she could be a target.
Yeah, I feel like once like we get past the Zach and Jazz like call outs, I feel like she's probably next in line of maybe having fingers pointed at her.
Mm.
Unless somebody does something stupid in a challenge, which is I'm sure will happen.
Diane big on thinking Andrew is a traitor. Anthony, he realized, he actually pretty much called out the Tracy strategy. He was like, this was a kind of burn vote. This is not tying to anyone, but he ties it to Zach. He thinks it's a Zach move. He's been convinced forever that Zach is a traitor. Problem for Anthony is everybody thinks he's a traitor, like everybody. And again, I feel like people basically, it's like you've had to shoot your shot at these roundtables. And if you shot your shot at somebody and haven't been right, it almost leaves you up for being a target. And I feel like if I'm thinking back to these first 5 episodes and even the 6th episode, we get over to the roundtable, we talk about Anthony. It's like, why, in your guys' opinion, was he such a big target? I only think it's just because he's been vocal.
Yeah, I think it's vocal too. I mean, he would, and then like I guess maybe what he said today, but I feel like some people were still on him yesterday's episode. But very sad to see him go.
Yeah, it can only be that. He has been he also was a little abrasive.
Yeah, he is definitely abrasive, but
yeah, like especially at the today's roundtable, like especially speaking to Jasmine. Except that, like, I don't know how you could have phrased that better. Like when she kind of got like Miff, and he's like, "Are you finished?" And she's like, "Oh, oh." And anyways, like, well, there's a nicer way to say that. It's like, but is there, because at the same time, if somebody's coming at you and they're kind of accusing you of all these different
right.
things, you're definitely chomping at the bit to respond, but you
Yeah.
also don't want to be rude and cut them off. So how do I ask you if you're done without sounding rude? So like I feel like he was kind of in a losing situation there, and because he was already previously abrasive, it's kind of played into that narrative.
This was like my first time this season for this show, and this happens in basically every show we cover. We get statements from people that you just know that they can have no weight behind them because of how little time they've known these people. And when you had Jasmine leading the charge of like, you've changed since this show started 2 days ago. You used to be bubbly. I let up the biggest like eye roll. Like if an eye roll could make a noise,
Right.
like that's like what I was doing. It's just like, enough with this, people. We just covered this on that trust show the other day where people were like, that guy is a horrible guy. They've known him for 12 hours.
Right.
It's like, what do you mean this guy's changed? Yeah, because you started playing this game show where you literally have to start eliminating people and everyone hates him. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be super bubbly if everyone hates me. So, like, it's just dumb. And they all jumped on that.
You don't know if I've changed. I just got here. Like, what do you mean?
He even said, he's like, I'm playing the game. Like,
right. It hasn't even been a week in their world. So like, what do you mean you changed?
I'm in the trenches catching bullets.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to fend off all you people.
Right.
I just look, this is what this type of show leans itself to. A few people jump on someone, it is like the mob mentality. Yeah. It's like, you know what? Just screw it. I'm just gonna vote for that guy. There's 4 or 5 of them already voting for him. So why are we going to start sending stray bullets? That's why I always like looking at the votes that don't follow it. I think those ones are always like really interesting. So like Anthony obviously couldn't vote for himself. He voted for Zach. Paul votes for Jazz. All right. So let's talk about this. Paul and Jazz. Jazz has been sussing out Paul for episodes now. We obviously all love Jazz because we want Paul sussed out. We're not big Paul guys here.
No.
I think Jazz had another great episode. I think he did well with the sit down with Paul. He told Paul everything he wants to hear because that's what Paul likes. But he said right in his confession was, he just screw Paul. Like, he's a traitor, like for sure. I just got to get people to realize that, like, I'm not crazy.
Right.
I just wish Jazz and Anthony had a conversation like from last episode, because remember, Anthony kind of had a suspicion of Paul too. And I think they could have had a theory where it's like, hey, let's stay under the radar, try to survive this roundtable, get a few more soldiers, and then make the strike.
Yeah, I mean, like Andrew voted for Zach. So Andrew wasn't on the Anthony
Yeah.
train, so that's totally someone he could have used to try to like.
But see, yeah, Andrew was like, he's not a traitor because they spent a night in the dungeon or like that crap.
God,
Like, hey, there's no. I love
so
when people are like,
dumb.
"There's no way somebody's a
Right,
traitor."
this-
He had an adult sleepover, and now they didn't even have a sleepover. It was during
Yeah,
the day.
yeah, it's the same thing
Right.
about what you said about somebody changing overnight. It's these people who are like, "There's no,
Jasmine.
I know him. There's no way they're a traitor."
Exactly. You don't know anything. And I think the time is definitely upon us for
Yeah.
Jazz to have a public conversation in a group of people. You know, these one-on-one conversations are not going to serve him because obviously Paul, as much as I don't like him, he definitely is playing this game well and because people like him a lot. But I think that at this point, Jazz can make a strong enough argument if he gets enough people together. It's like, listen, this is why I think this, you know, X, Y, and Z reason. And even if people don't jump on board right then, the
Yeah.
next time you get to the round table, you can bring it back up again and start grilling him on those things. And that could be the downfall of him. But you've got to stop at these one-on-one conversations because everyone's going to be scared to take a stand against him unless you get the group together.
Right,
Just
and
a
if you
group
do,
of 5 or 6, it'd be enough.
yeah, and if you make that public like display at the round table and then he's gone like that night, you know that Paul, like, why would, and no one has written his name down yet, then you
Right.
know that's what I'm saying. It's almost like you have backup. You just need to make your case really good. And I thought that Anthony was
Yes.
on that track, and then he just went away from it. And
Yeah.
that's you got to keep those people around until they piss enough people off. Or like, yo, you sounds crazy that you keep bringing this up, and then I don't know. Yeah, that's
Right.
what I agree. Like he's right there to make a move.
He is. You got to have this conversation though before the round table
Yeah.
and then bring it back up then.
Yeah.
You got to like get people thinking before they get there.
Yeah, and
That's
bring up the thing where it's like, well, why did Harry tell you and now you're talking to me in private? That is what I think could be like the nail.
Yeah.
Why did
them,
Paul
like,
name
sweat.
drop Harry?
Yeah, I don't agree with it. Yeah, like why did he do that? I think he's trying to
Shouldn't
cover
have done
his
it.
ass. and-
Unreal.
Why?
Like,
Because he thinks
unreal.
he's just so damn smart. Like that's why. He
Unreal.
thinks he's so much smarter than everyone else.
He blew
I
up
can't
Andrew- he
wait
just
for him to
blew
go
up
down.
Harry's
I can't
game.
stand him.
He blew up Harry's game. Harry's been playing a perfect game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, like, he's like, well, why did he mention Harry? Like, it's like unreal. Like,
Yeah.
unreal, man. Because now if he starts to think about it and realizes that Harry and him weren't in that room that night, like, and he realizes those were two of the people not around, like, it starts to add up. And it's like, it wasn't needed. I just like Mr. Smarty Pants. And I'm just like bummed that we have to wait till Wednesday. But like, I find it very hard to believe that Paul makes it through the next 3.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's no way he makes it
Unless
through.
there's another weird twist.
Oh, well, let's talk about the twist we have to end the episode with. The Poison Chalice. I think that's cool. I think the Poison Chalice thing is cool. You have to make someone drink from it. It took them forever to find the thing in the books because they couldn't read Shakespeare. But it looks like it's going to be it is going to be what's her name
Man.
Diane that I talked about earlier.
Yeah,
so.
I hope that's just tricky editing and maybe she passes the cup off to somebody else.
Well, I thought it was first person to touch it.
No, they drink it.
Oh, it's a drink.
Oh,
from it.
drink. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it a little better. I like that they're switching it up because last year was a kiss. Now, like they can't do the same thing all the time. So I like that they're gonna do something different where like it's an item now and like
Right.
because the kiss is like when they did it last season, it was kind of like they couldn't think of it, but it's like kind of weird that somebody random kisses you. But
I'm not going to try to hate Kyle, but I think that we've seen that they don't really do very good tricky editing so far this season. They're like, don't leave crazy cliffhangers. Everything seems it's like what is what it is.
yeah, they cliffhangered up the plot that we knew as an audience with Ash.
So it's just going to be her gulping the water and the fizzy wine. And then like
no,
in her sleep, they're going to like yank her out, I guess. Like
she'll just get a note. But
okay, that's why I wanted to know like how that worked.
Same stuff.
So she'll get the same thing. They're not going to roll in there like it's a murder dinner,
No. But they'll be like, they will be like, you drank the chalice or you drank the drink poison.
So she'll know
the liquid poison or something, and then she might not know that it was that.
I think she's smart. I think she'll see it, and like you said, we'll get revenge. We'll get the revenge Ross, like you were calling for, Kyle.
Revenge of the Ross. Yeah. Anakin Skywalker
out of here. But like, don't give it to Miles now. Like poor Miles.
Yeah,
like,
he's taking. I want him to stick around.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of L's here. Because he was also, because first of all, Paul was trying to give him the business, over being the lookout during the challenge, right? Like, oh, you just do it. I think Harry actually was the first one to say that. Oh, you don't want to get dirty.
Yeah.
But Paul definitely like kind of compounded in that thing. And the way the edit was in that moment though was actually quite enjoyable, because they made that comment like, we don't need this. We can see it coming a mile away. And then Paul was like the next one out. It's like, that's very delicious.
I did like when Miles, like, he's giving the instructions and they're not listening to him. He's like, you need to listen. It's just like, yes and no. I think I would probably feel the same way if I was running around and the dude was just standing there. It's like, no, I don't just get in here too, bro. Like, we need to play a numbers game here. Like, we need to all go and make this work.
He did get in there though. Like, come on, he did.
He did. This is like, it's like that. We usually do this in Amazing Race, but that was like the Mario Party game. There's the spotlight.
Oh, the one in the water, right?
Yeah,
swimming. Yeah,
it's spotlight swim.
I thought this was really cool. I think this would have been a fun one to be a part of.
Yeah, this one was
10K
really, really fun to play.
I like that they're just also like breaching a door. Like, I love it, like that. Like, they, I really enjoyed it. And they got to scatter
the door. I did like that part. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, that one looked really fun to play.
I've liked the season so far. I think that it's progressing well. We have people that we're rooting for. We have people we don't like. We have people in the Traitors that we like and don't like. There's a good mix. So we will be back next Wednesday night for UK Series 2, Episode 7. But you don't have to wait until then to get some Traitors fix. There will be the first 3 episodes we're going to review of the Traitors US on Peacock. Season 2, all celebrity reality TV members, including a member of British Parliament. So for our UK viewers, you guys can let us know about him. We don't really know anything about him. Maybe all 3 of us as well. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you will not miss out on that coverage. Kyle, Strat Chat, what's going on?
Nothing. Just a challenge 39. Thursdays at 9:30. We're also going to do the Traitors US, but we still didn't settle on that time. So,
so catch up with the Strat Chat Pod when they do their season retrospective.
Yeah, we'll do it all in one shot.
We love having Kyle on. Also check out our TikTok account. We are doing little mini reviews and clips on there as well. But for myself, Brian, Kyle, everyone here at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.